access to record, let me know that as well. Royal Howell, you're up first, sir.
Good morning, Coach. How are you doing this morning?
Roll, good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Coach, can you just talk briefly on that phenomenal finish this past Saturday, 1 point win at Clemson? What did that do for your ball club? Just the momentum, just the hype. What did that do for your team, in a hostile environment versus one of the toughest teams, one of the hottest teams in the ACC?
Well, it was a Royal, as you know, it was a great game. We've been in a bunch of those games this year, early on in the year against Boston College, against Notre Dame, and here recently, the last couple of games was Wake Forest and Pitt, and it was a great atmosphere. Obviously Brad's done a really good job this year, and his team is playing well, and obviously, going on the road, getting a really good win was good for our guys. And I just thought DJ Horn made a great play. And more importantly, on the back end of it, I think we did a good job without fouling and, got a good stop with 9 seconds left on the clock. And it was a great win and something that we can continue to build on and get better from. And obviously, in the world of the net, when we talk about quad ones, it was a good quad one win for us, especially on the road.
And in preparation for Syracuse, what are some things that jumps off the film that you're, cause for concern for your ball club getting ready for them?
Well, I think a couple things is they're really good in transition. They do a great job. I mean, they get the ball out quick and they try to get the ball up the floor as much as they can. The last time we played them, quite honestly, they took 32 free throws and that didn't work out for us. We only got 11, so we didn't do a good job in that area. And I think Judah Mintz himself took 21. And so we got to do a good job with that. And I think now, because he doesn't have as much depth, they're starting to have a mixture of a little bit of man and some zone. And so I think that's a couple of things that we got to, work on. Usually, when Coach Boeheim was there, you knew preparing for Syracuse, you had to spend, every minute on their zone. Now I think, what Red's doing, he's playing a combination of both. So you got to do a little bit of both now.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
I'll go next to Brett Friedlander.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing today?
Hey, Brett.
Doing all right. So you've had some pretty high-scoring guards in the past. I mean, last year, Terquavian and Jarkel. But could you put into perspective a little bit as to how high a level DJ is playing at right now?
It's crazy, Brett, that you asked that question because I don't know that he's actually getting the credit that Jarkel Joyner and Terquavian Smith got, and because those guys could really score the basketball. And even, we had guys like Sebron. The anticipation was coming in that he wouldn't be that type of scorer. Obviously DJ came in and he was averaging about 12 points a game, a little over 12 at Arizona State. But Brad, he's had a 5-game stretch that's probably as good as anybody in the country. Shooting the basketball, playing overall. He's meant so much to our team. Because his ability to score the basketball, and he's doing it. It's weird because he's very efficient in the way he's doing it. And I've played him some at the point. I played him some off the ball, and he's been so important in us getting over the hump in a lot of these games. So, I give a lot of credit to him. He's worked extremely hard on his game, and right now he's seeing a big basket.
Thanks.
Thank you, Brett.
Corey Smith, go ahead.
Kevin, obviously your team breaks through this past Saturday, 2 games at home against teams that are, quad 2, quad 3, but how do you avoid that kind of letdown after winning such a big game to keep going in the ACC as well?
Corey, the weird thing is I don't know that we can call any of these games possible letdowns. I mean, you look at the parity of our league and, we can talk about Syracuse because they're the Mar and, they've got 7 wins. We lost at their place. You just look around college basketball, and in particular, our league. I think everybody's beating up on one another, and on any given night, it seems like anybody can go into someone's place and win. I didn't think so. I didn't know if anybody was going to go in Virginia and get a win this year, and then Pitt did a great job doing that part of it. So. I just think we got to stay the course. I think we got to do a good job of being us and kind of build on the Clemson win. When you look back at the Pitt and Wake Forest games, they were one possession games. They could have kind of went either way. And I think literally with every team, and I say this every year, but more so this year, you've got to really focus on that next team and try to lock in and do a great job of preparing for those guys because every team's so equal.
And kind of as a follow-up to that, the last Syracuse game, your rotation of three bigs with DJ Burns, Ben Middlebrooks, and Mo Diarra finished 7 of 21 in that game. Do you feel like you have a better feel for the rotation in terms of the bigs now going into this one? Or do you feel like those guys offensively are playing better as well?
No, I thought the rotation was I thought the rotation was good. That was the first one of those games we started Ben and both Mo together and brought DJ off the bench. To be honest with you, Corey, our bigs just didn't play well. They really struggled. But those are the three guys who, are starting to play well together, and we've been able to rotate them in and out and playing both Ben and Mo a little bit at the 4, but they just have to we've got to get better. They got to play better in those type of games. But that was probably the one game that I didn't think that any of our post guys played well.
Thank you.
Go next to Noah Fleischman.
Hey, good morning, Coach. You talked about, playing two bigs at Syracuse. That's the last time you started two until at Clemson. What did you kind of like about, starting those two at Clemson, but having that rotation, especially with, the way that Mo is able to knock down some threes for you?
Well, it worked out for us. I mean, everybody knows this. When you're, you're playing against Clemson, I mean, PJ Hall will be most of the conversation because he's so good and he's done it for so many years here. But, Ian Shefflin has been having a great year. And, obviously we couldn't match their size and physicality if we didn't play two bigs at that time. I mean, they were just, both of those guys are really good inside out. PJ started to shoot the ball from 3, as you saw in our game, but Shefflin's really hurt us over the past, and both of those guys with their interior play, and so we needed size to be able to combat some of that. And I thought, between Ben, Mo, and DJ, I think they all responded in a very positive way for us.
JC Zembel, go ahead, sir.
I know it's recency bias, but the play that Casey Morsell had in a possession by possession game almost feels like something you could be telling teams for the next 10 years, because if he doesn't create that jump ball and that steal, you guys don't even have a chance maybe at the end to win it. How important does that show how each possession counts and how, basically Casey, did what he needed to do to win a game?
JC, I don't know what was better, his hell ball or him picking me up at the end of the game. It was a big play. And, those plays, you look at, our league is, as I talked about earlier, our league has come down to a lot of, possessions, 1 or 2 possessions at the end of the game. And that was one where we consider that's a winning play. He made a winning play there by, with our ball on held possession. We told our guys that how many timeouts and who would get the ball on a held ball. And I just thought when Mo missed that free throw, he did a good job of sticking his nose in there and really, tying the ball up. And it really actually put us in a situation and gave us the opportunity to win that game. And so, one of the things we worked on last week during our week off is, trying to finish games. If you look at games at the end, the team who makes the least amount of mistakes down the stretch with about 5 or 6 possessions usually is a team that wins the game. And I thought he made a winning play there.
Got one last question in from Chris Clark.
Real quick, Coach Keatts there. ACC's headed back to DC for the men's tournament. You got a guy in Casey from my hometown. I wanted to know what it was like, or what it's like recruiting those DC DMV area guys there, and what you like about them, if you will.
I need a few more. Jeff Capel's getting them all now. He's got the good guard from DC area. My Hargrave days. Some of my better teams were guys from the DC area. And I mean, DMV, and we had some really good players. And, when I took this job, obviously we had Renard Freeman from there. And, but good players, good place. It's a basketball state and states and area. And, I'm excited to go back there and play in a tournament there.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Kevin, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, we'll move along, bring Micah Shrewsbury on from Notre Dame.